Don't go anywhere. The St. Lucie County Sheriff's Office is about to go 10-8. Welcome to 10-8, your inside view of the St. Lucie County Sheriff's Office. I'm your host, Sergeant Chris Ciccio. One of the concerns that parents have today is keeping their children safe, and technology is actually available to us now to help us do that. With us today is Kelly Starling, again from AT&T. She's one of our current guests and frequent guests that we have here on the show. Kelly, welcome back to the show.
Thanks. Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. And we've got some technology to talk about today that's going to help parents keep their children safe and monitor their children and their whereabouts.
Absolutely, because like you said, and you being a parent, what is the worst feeling in the world is if you turn around and you don't see your child.
Happened yesterday.
Right.
Riding their bikes, went down the street, couldn't see them, got up, went down. Where are they? Yes.
No worse feeling. And they say that statistics say that every 40 seconds in the U.S. a child is reported missing. 70% of the time it's a result of miscommunication, the child to the parent, or they've gotten lost, or they've run away, unfortunately, or they're abandoned. The good news is that more than 95% of the kids reported missing do return home safely, which made me feel better because as a parent, instantly we go to the worst case scenario.
Right.
We think, oh Lord, it's some evil, horrible person who has my child. But there are new devices that have come out that will help give a parent peace of mind because they can stay in contact with their kid via seeing their physical location as well as voice communication, and it gives the child a little more freedom to, do what kids want to do, explore and be curious. So one of the devices that has just come out, which by the way, the man who developed this device, it came out of a lost incident. His child was 3 years old and he lost him for 30 minutes.
Oh my goodness.
And he came up with this idea. This is called the Philip. It's a wearable smart locator and phone, and as you can see, I think it's a cool design. It's designed for kids 5 to 11, so it's not really fitting my wrist the way it should. However, the idea of it being a wristwatch, because it does tell time as well, is it's less likely a kid will misplace this or lose it if it's on their wrist, and they're also using for the purpose of telling time. The great thing is, and it all works, you download an app, the parent downloads an app to their smartphone, you program in 5 contact numbers that the child can reach, and it's very easy to use. There's one button here that they click between screens, the time, and it will let them scroll down those 5 numbers. And once they get to the person they want to call, they just push the other button, the red button, and they have two-way communication with their parents or whoever their primary contacts they have programmed in there.
Right.
And the parent can even send very short text messages to them. They can't text back, but the parent can text like, come home.
Yeah.
Dinner time, or something like that. And the great thing too about the device is you can set up 5 safety zones, which are those virtual boundaries, so that when your child enters or leaves one of the safety zones, you will be notified either via email or text, whichever way you choose to be notified, to let you know, okay, for instance, school. If you know your child's supposed to be at school between this hour and that hour, and you get a notification that they've left.
So it's kind of geographically set up?
Yeah, they're virtual boundaries, yes. Based on the address of the location, like I created one around the school, I created one for around our neighborhood, one around my mother, his grandmother's house. It will let you know when they've entered or left one of those zones. At any time, you can still, through the app, go and see where they physically are, because it works on a blend of GPS, the AT&T wireless network, and Wi-Fi. Okay. So again, it lets the parent have that communication with their kid. And if for any reason the child is in an emergency situation, they're sick, or gosh forbid someone has grabbed them, they push and hold the SOS button for like 3 seconds. It puts it into emergency mode, and instantly their location is sent to the primary contact, and then the device starts calling each one of those 5 numbers until a person answers. And we'll keep doing that. In the meantime, at least the exact location of the child has gone to you either via email or text, however you've set it up on your settings.
Phenomenal. That's
okay,
phenomenal.
And again, it's meant to be, you see, they have color,
stylish.
Yeah, kind of coolish for the kids. It's water resistant and it's sturdy.
My little one would wear that.
Yeah, actually, it's kind of cool because now a lot of the watches have the big faces on them. Another device, again, it's a smart locator. This one is the Amber Alert GPS device, and it does come with accessories so that if you want to get a wrist or ankle band, you can. A little pouch with a hook to hang it on your backpack. A lanyard if they want to wear it around their neck. It's not that heavy, and you can change out this section to bright colors, but it works like this device, the same type of technology. But in addition, some of the unique features it has, which I really like, they have a predator alert, so that if your child comes within 500 feet of a registered sex offender's home, you will get an alert that your child is that close to a registered sex offender.
So that must be the app must be cross-referencing the databases that
the
are maintained
national
on those.
sex offender, it does.
Wow.
And I like that added feature. It also has a cool feature called School Ready, because you know, a lot of schools, they don't want kids having their smartphones on during class or any electronics for that matter. So before your child goes to school, you can activate the School Ready feature, which will block all incoming calls to the device, and at the same time it will send an email or text, however you've set it up, to the school administration letting them know the device is in school ready mode, so they don't have to worry about the learning environment being distracted by the device ringing. And another cool feature is called breadcrumbing. At any point, like I said, I can go through the app and see my child's physical location, but if I want to be automatically clued in where he is every 15 minutes, every 30 minutes, every hour, I determine the time interval, I can do that with breadcrumbing, and it will just, and I'll show you in a minute, you'll see all the times that I have received where his location is.
That's where the breadcrumbing comes in.
Yes.
All right, got it.
It also has another cool feature, speed alert. You can set it so that you can say, I want to be notified if my child is in a vehicle going faster than this speed limit. Like it gives you 35, 50, 55, 65, and you will be alerted if they're in a vehicle that's moving faster than the speed limit you've designated.
So we may not want to tell our teenage children that feature is on the phone.
It's best to tell, and I've got something coming up for them. So that's another really cool feature about this one. Now, this device, while it's not so much like called a smart locator, this is the AudioVox car connection, and I thought about this for teen drivers because again, they're newbies when it comes to driving. A lot of them do text. This, as you can see, plugs into your onboard diagnostic portal, and it works for the vehicles that are 1996 and older. And the cool thing is, if it's unplugged, you'll be alerted. So no one can just think, well, I don't know what I'll do. I'll just unplug this. If it gets turned off, you will be alerted.
Mom won't know.
All right. You plug it in. There's a way that you can block, again, all calls and text messages coming into the child's phone, so that an automatic message will go out saying, you know, I can't talk. I'm driving, so it will block that. It also will let you know if they're exceeding a speed limit that you've designated. It will let you know if the car's been stolen. It also has a cool feature. It has an advanced algorithms where, based on your child's driving behavior and the mileage, I guess, that they've put into it, it will do what they call a driver score. It will score their driving, and then it gives coaching tips on how you can improve your driving score. But it's and then there's a lot of other great things it does as far as telling you when you need maintenance on your car. But I'm thinking for the teen driver, it would be a great thing for parents to be able to use. And also you can create those, they call them geofences, but again, the virtual boundaries. You can create up to create 5 of those on there, so that if your child, when they enter or leave it, you're notified. So maybe you only want them using the car to go to and from school or go to and from work, and you can, know if it's being used for more than just that. So another great way of, again, being able to stay connected to your child, getting peace of mind, letting them have that little bit of freedom, but you know where they are. You know their whereabouts, where they are currently. It shows the history, where they've been, how long they've been there. And again, if a child goes missing, they say that the first 3 hours are the most critical. So you will know at all times, and the location will be sent directly to you. So it's all, again, about, for me, the parent, give them the peace of mind, knowing that, okay, well, I know where he is, and any given moment I can know where he is.
I never imagined that this technology was even available. What prompted AT&T to do this? Was this feedback from parents? Was this just on their own initiative?
The products are developed, obviously, by other people. We provide the network, the wireless network, that works with these products. And again, for AT&T, it's about mobilizing everything. I mean, that's the way the world is going. Everyone wants things on the go. So all of this, you could see it from your computer, but you also can access it from your smartphone or your tablet, because everyone's carrying one of those devices now. So it's about mobilizing everything for the users, and they're calling it the internet of everything. So that's why we have a lot of these types of products that we power with the network, because there's a demand for them.
Well, Kelly, this technology is phenomenal. It's about empowering families to keep each other safe, to keep their children safe, and we can't thank you enough for being on the show again.
Thank you.
The technology that you brought to us is all about maintaining the safety of people through texting and driving, which is extremely dangerous. The technology that we've talked about today, you know, we've had you on the show several times for things like this, and we thank you for that.
Thank you for the opportunity.
For more information about these items and the technology that we've talked about here today, please visit att.com. And next we have on the show Russ Cullum, who's going to bring you more by the way of crime prevention tips and ways to help keep you and your family safe. Don't go away. Welcome back to 10-8. We have with us now Russ Cullum from the Crime Prevention Unit. Russ, welcome back to the show.
Thank you, Sarge.
We always like it when you come in and provide some tips for our viewers, and I understand that we have some phone scams, some scams in general that are going on around St. Lucie County, so tell us what's going on.
Yes, sir. The phone scams are alive. The newest one is called cramming. And what that is you receive a call from an out-of-country number. They ring one time, they hang up, the person gets inquisitive and calls back, why'd you call my cell phone? As soon as you make contact with them, they're somehow able to charge your carrier anywhere from $8 a minute to $30 a minute on your provider.
Wow.
And it's been very lucrative, I guess. That's why it keeps happening more.
Are there any certain area codes, or it's an out-of-country call? Is that what you're saying?
It's out-of-country call. The one I know for a fact is a 473, which is a Caribbean number.
All right.
If my wife's in the Caribbean, I better be with her.
Yeah, I agree with that, yes. So what else do we have?
We have what just came back up, the Publishers Clearinghouse.
Okay.
And as you know, lucrative business, but they surprise you. They go to your house and tell you won the clearinghouse.
Okay.
What they're doing now is saying you've won the clearinghouse, and in order to provide processing fees, please send us a Green Dot card, which, as you know, is one of those prepaid credit cards that you can get at any convenience store. And they're saying it's about $400, $500, and you're going to get several $1,000s.
Well, that always baffled me, Russ, is when you get a call or an email saying that you won $3 million, but please send us $5,000 to process. Well, why not just take it out of the winnings? Is my first, maybe that's just a common sense approach to it. I've won all this money, why not just deduct it from the amount and send me the rest? You know, and maybe it's just, again, just a simple view of it. And that's a red flag to me.
It's a red flag to me, and I think people just hear you've won $3 million, so their $5 investment
is nothing. Because they're going to be able to cover it.
They're seeing the dollar signs.
What they need to do is slow down.
Absolutely.
Slow down. All right, so what else do we have?
The U.S. federal grant has come back up and resurfaced. And what that is they're saying that, Chris Sisio, you've been approved for the grant you applied for.
I've seen that. I've actually seen that on email.
Most people would know if they applied for a grant.
Yep.
And they're also doing you have to do the processing fee by sending us, and the Green Dot card keeps coming up. And that seems to be really the red flag.
Right.
If one, you should remember if you filled out a grant, and two, if you're a recipient, there'll be more of a legal paperwork than somebody calling you up saying you won.
Right, right. So what tips should our viewers follow? Let's start with the cramming. You know,
if you don't recognize the number and they hang up, don't call it back.
Yes.
If they don't leave you a message, don't call them back.
You know what I actually got in the habit of doing? When I get a number on my cell phone that I don't recognize, I don't answer it. I Google it. I'll just type the number into a Google search engine, and many times I'll find out complaints on that number. This number keeps calling, the location that number is registered to, and there's a lot of information that you can find out on the internet just by typing that number into a Google search engine. And I've gotten into that habit, so has my wife.
Great.
So we don't take those calls. Maybe that's something that our viewers can use.
Very good point. They should be doing that. I recommend doing that at all my homeowners association meetings. I give them a website and tell them to look it up. The Publishing Clearinghouse, if you didn't buy a magazine from them, you might not be in the sweepstakes.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. Makes sense to me.
And the federal grant, again, most people should know if they fill out a federal grant.
Yes.
So if you haven't gone to the clearinghouse or haven't applied for a federal grant, and somebody calls you up and saying you've won that, it's either identity theft or they're trying to scam you.
Yeah, wow. Well, Russ, as always, thank you very much. Very, very empowering for our viewers to know what they can do, and they can always contact the Crime Prevention Unit at 871-5303.
Yes, sir.
If they have any questions. I know that when I was there, I received questions about, emails that they had received, and that's certainly available to our viewers if they need to do that.
Anytime, yes, sir.
All right. Well, thank you very much for being on the
Thanks,
show.
sir.
When we return, we will be meeting with Sheriff Ken Mascara, who's going to tell you about the current happenings in the St. Lucie County Sheriff's Office. Don't go away. Welcome back to 10-8. We're now joined by the Sheriff. Boss, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Chris.
Current events going on in the Sheriff's Office. One thing I've noticed is the press room that we now have.
New media room, that is correct.
Yeah, so what's going on with that?
Well, we used to do our media out of our staff room, which sometimes was challenging. So we went ahead and invested in a new media room that is state-of-the-art. And it was funded by Law Enforcement Trust Fund money, which is actually money that we confiscate from drug dealers. Mm-hmm. So we put their money to good use for us. And it's an opportunity for us to get the message out from the Sheriff's Office to our public. We do live streaming on YouTube as well as our Facebook page. Mm-hmm. So our citizens can stay up to the moment contact with us and information we can get out to them.
Can actually stream everything live as it happens?
That is correct.
And I think in the history that I've known dealing with the media, and that you certainly know dealing with the media, is that they've got to get little sound bites, and they've got a lot of news to get out that's regional and national. Mm-hmm. And this kind of gives you more of an opportunity to get specifics about your message out to the public.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that, because we'll have a message that's maybe 5 minutes long that we want to get out to our public. And because of the challenges put on the media, they'll take a 10-second sound bite and put it out there, and it kind of cheats our public from the real message that they should be receiving. So this is going to be a great added bonus for us as well as our community.
Well, Sheriff, thank you for being on the show.
You're welcome.
And for more information about what we've talked about today or any of the programs in the Sheriff's Office, please visit us at stluciesheriff.com or follow us on any of our social media sites. Until next time, stay safe.